What's going on, everybody? It's Tarico Satterfield, your mental performance consultant. Listen, you know we've been launching into this Rooted in Greatness series. Why? Because we want to get athletic voices. We want to get mental performance coaches. We want to get people, neurologists who work in this field, so you can get some real stories. So we can talk about the mental wealth of athletics and what it looks like to be on the field, but also struggle off the field. A lot of people think that struggle just happens in the middle of the game, but sometimes the struggle happens in the game of life. And we want to center those conversations. We got an amazing guest, y'all. She's an international professional basketball player. And y'all, I'm not even going to lie. I had to look her up. And when I looked her up, and saw what she was North Carolina A&T, I was like, wait a minute, she a superstar. And so without further ado, not only do I have Miss Jordyn Dorsey on the call, but y'all, I got an international voice on the phone call today with us. We have our co-host, Noor. Noor, would you do me a favor, introduce yourself to the people?
I'm Noor Giblewi. I'm an international student athlete from Tunisia. I started my career in North Carolina A&T and currently playing for Western Illinois. And I play tennis professionally too, so that's me.
Yeah. Come on, Noor. Y'all, we got the international flavor going on the podcast today, so I'm super pumped about this show today. Noor, so I want you to kick this thing off. Jordyn, introduce yourself to the people. Tell them where you at, what you doing, what you got going on right now.
My name is Jordyn Dorsey, North Carolina A&T State University alum, currently pro basketball player in Adana.
Did you say Adana Turkey? I don't know, because I was going to call it, I was going to say Adonai.
She said it right.
That's how they said when we break huddle. I had to learn how to pronounce it right.
I love it. What is it, Adana Turkey?
Adana.
Okay, Adana Turkey.
Yeah, I was saying it wrong too when I first got it.
Okay, well, listen, if I say it wrong during this time we together, just charge it to my head, not my heart. Shout out to the people in Adana Turkey.
Shout out.
But go ahead, Jordyn.
Yeah, that's it. I'm going to started my rookie season. Being international, being a pro athlete has always been one of my goals, one of my dreams. And I'm thankful, to be able to living that out.
Man, congratulations to you. That's huge. First of all, like you said, so many people have a dream of, and that's interesting. We'll get into this, but most people have interest in playing professionally here in the States. And you get an opportunity to go and play overseas. Like, I'm sorry, but I just think that's like so dope to me. Like, anytime people playing around the world, I'm like, dang, that gotta be so cool to be in another country, like doing what you love and also getting a cultural experience. What's that like for you?
Oh, it's been great. It's someone that I like the vacation. It's kind of like an extended stay, kind of. It's a very beautiful country, beautiful city. The people there are really nice. And, it just starts to feel like a home away from home.
I'm not gonna ask you the question I want to ask because it might start some controversy, but I'm gonna just leave it. No, I'm gonna pass it over to you.
Well, I met Jordyn when I was in North Carolina A&T. We were both athletes there, and as you said, she was a star. And I want you, Jordyn, to tell us a little bit about that. A&T, I mean, I remember my last 2 years when I was there, you guys had a really good run going into the tournament and everything. So tell me how those 4 years changed you.
And I say this all the time. Like, if I had the chance to do it over again, I would 100% do it over again. I couldn't see myself playing nowhere else but at A&T. I actually had the opportunity after my junior year to kind of see where my talent could take me. But I 100% believe that that was home for me and I could get my ring there, which ultimately we did my senior year. It has molded me, has helped me grow in more ways than one, on the court and off the court. And, I was able to finish with my degree.
Come on now.
You had a little bit of everything. You had fun, you had school, you had ball. So
listen, you had 4 years, like I had 4 years at a HBCU, so I already know. Jordyn, I barely got out of there. I'm not.
Where you went?
I went to Stillman College in Tuscaloosa.
Cool.
So I know what the environment was.
Mhm.
Them bands and fraternities, sororities, so much I could say. It wasn't just the mindset in talking about it and what your 4 years were like. I say that to people sometime too, that it's easy to say I wouldn't change some of the decisions that I made, but when I look at the maturity that I have today, I can't say that, Jordyn. I
Yeah.
absolutely would have changed some
Yeah.
of the
That's
decisions
real.
I was making when I
That's
was
real.
at Stillman College, because baby, someone might have a lot to do with why the mindset struggles.
Mhm.
So, but the experience, and I get what you're saying, such a rich experience,
Mhm.
such rich culture. I found I don't want to say found my blackness, but I definitely found the culture, man.
Culture.
Man, I remember my first year, and Nora, I can only imagine what that was like for you coming from another
Mhm.
country into this culture.
Yeah.
But imagine, Nora, being here in America, growing up in one of these cities, and not really understanding who you are as a person and the good about you in your identity until you went to college. Like, I remember having African American history my first year at the HBCU, and I was like, African American history? I was like, shoot, we got our
Yeah.
own history class? Because Jordan, it's not like that.
Mhm.
Going up in grade school,
You
who do we
right.
learn about in grade school, Jordan?
You
Who are
know,
the, who are the key people we learn about?
the the lighter colored people,
The lighter colored people. The black people we learn about is the same every
slavery.
year.
Anyway, like
Harriet
that
Tubman,
stuff. Yeah.
Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., everybody that got killed. That's what
Mhm.
that's what you learn about. And I'm asking that question because we have to know that impacts your psyche. Like that impacts you mentally, even going into a historically black college and university.
Mhm.
So it made me ask more questions, right? Man, wait a minute. If this is all the stuff that we didn't learn over 12 years of being in school, why didn't they teach us this? Like, why weren't we learning about the whole of our culture, the
Mhm.
inventions and things like that? How did that impact you going from did you go to a predominantly black high school? Did you go to a predominantly white high school? What was that like for you in high school?
So Augusta is a predominantly black area,
Mhm.
but the school was fairly mixed. Like it was maybe a little bit more black kids than like white or Latino. Um, but even then, going from high school to college, it wasn't necessarily a culture shock, but it was like just a surreal, like it's so many black folks with greater aspirations than just, you
Mhm.
know, maybe not pursuing college or, just people navigate life different ways. But like you said, we had it was like A&T, like African American history, and we
Mhm.
learned about the Greensboro Four. And, that was one of the major
Mhm.
keys that I can kind of remember from my freshman year. And it was great. Like when I chose A&T, I had no idea what I was signing for.
Right. Right.
Like
Same.
I remember it was my third
Same.
offer going into my going into my senior year. And I'm like, I'm not going here. Like I'm gonna get 10 plus more offers. Like I'm not,
Mhm.
but the more I talk to them, the more they explain what it's like to go there, the culture there, the family there. I called them back maybe like 3 months later, 3 months later, and committed.
Wow. Wow.
So
That's awesome. Now, I'm just happy that you were able to go and kind of get that experience, get that, I would say, that impartation into our identity, and then now go out into the world kind of with more of a broader picture. I think about what it's like to go into the world with just the context that we had from high school without getting that experience. Nora, back over to you. I'm gonna kick it back to you.
I mean, I agree about everything she said about A&T. Like, I came in with no thoughts at all of what was coming. I didn't have a visit or anything like that. And then I remember it was a culture shock, you know, because my first semester as a freshman in season, I was not like even just even the city like Princeton or anything. And I was like always asking myself like, why did you just go to HBCU? Like I even asked my friends, like, why you chose A&T? Like I chose A&T for studies. Why did you choose A&T? Like, and like there's a lot of them. They're like, oh well, this school like reached out this coach, and I'm like, you let that down for A&T? Like, are you crazy? You know? Then I start, and then like honestly, every more like semester, I start to understand more the culture, why people were there, um, like they do things differently. You start to respect it, and I think the biggest like knowledge I had about all of that culture is when I left. When I left A&T and went to like a public school, I understood, and like now I like I get the hype about all of that, and I get like the respect people had about their culture and like why they want to keep it like just for them. Like I understand it all now, and I'm like, wow, they were having fun. Now I get it. Like looking back, like my freshman year, I'm like, come on, it's not that fun. Like, come on, guys, you know. But now
Yeah.
I get it. Like it took a lot of experience, especially when I left and saw like another school and like abandoned the school. Now I get it, but it is amazing. A is such a magical experience, um, and I'm glad I had 2 years.
Well, listen, I remember my friend, man. I had a friend back in Stillman that was from Bulgaria, had friends from Panama, friends from Jamaica. But I remember my friend from Bulgaria. Her name was Dita. Niskova Seminska. I'll never forget her name. But that's how we got along. Like every time we saw each other, I taught her my full name, she taught me her full name. And so that's how we greeted each other every single time we saw each other. Dimitrinka Niskova Seminska was her name. And so she was like, "Hi, Toriko Andre Satterfield." I said, "Come on, girl, say my name every day. I love it." But I'm talking about it because we're talking about like the mental aspect of that, right? I remember the days that she would cry because it was a totally different experience for her being from Bulgaria and then being at this black college institution, right? Not, she wasn't uncomfortable, but it was just a different cultural experience. So, Jordan, my first question to you is how has the cultural experience impacted you mentally going from the States? And is this your first time playing internationally? Because I heard you say it's your rookie year. So tell me what that's like for you so far.
It was definitely challenging, but when I left, I was like, I'm just gonna put my best foot forward every day. Um, so yeah, it's definitely spells where you're homesick or trying to decide, is this what I really want to do? Do I want to be away from my family?
Mm.
But then that's when you try to start leaning into the culture, leaning into the things that's going on around in your area. I say my teammates are really nice. So they do their best to try to, include us, go hang out, try to have some type of normalcy. Go to different basketball games, volleyball games,
Mhm.
sightseeing. So that was the biggest thing, just trying to not necessarily focus on what you're missing out on, but focus on the opportunities you have around you.
I like that. N
So that's pretty much
I
how I
agree.
kind of
I
stay
agree
so
100%.
focused.
not focusing on what you're missing, but focusing on the opportunity you got with you. Ooh, I like that.
I think my biggest thing that I had to learn the hard way about like different cultures is I would always expect people to come up to me. I always expected people to be like, well, she's the one that is international. We should go up to her. We should try to have a conversation with her. And then again, I learned the hard way that that's not always going to be the case. I mean, people are going to come up to you and try to have a conversation with you, but if you want to build a life there, if you want to have friends, if you want to actually like learn and be part and do your best at being part of that culture, you have to like take the first step. And
Mm.
honestly, I know a lot about Turkey, Jordan, you know that. And I know that their culture also they respect it so much and like they want it in a certain way. So I want to ask you how like you had to deal with that big difference of culture and how do you find it right now?
The biggest difference, like you coming from, and I've heard people say like going to HBCUs like around people that look like you, it's not realistic for you when you step out into the real world.
Mm.
And like I've heard that argument, whatever, whatever. But I don't even think that's the most important thing. I think just going, absorbing, learning as much you can in your environment, and then just trying to transform that to how it can work for you wherever you end up next.
Yeah.
So, like Nora said, like talking to people, having conversations with people, networking,
Mhm.
um, and just trying to, be a good person to other people. That take you a long way. So that's pretty much kind of like what it is. Like I said, there's plenty of spells when you get homesick and, trying to adjust to how they do things on the court and off the court.
Mhm.
Playing professionally is not like playing in college. So I'm learning that as well as how to interact with others, while I'm out there. And it's been, a little challenging, but my teammate, she had played this like her second or third year, and she was able to help me kind of navigate those changes and differences. So I think just staying, optimistic, just trying to learn as you go. Pretty much it.
It sounds like to me, what I hear you saying, Jordan, is like you have a faith and a hope that like almost your focus is on the positive. Your focus is on what can I learn and being excited about the opportunity, which is a mental framing, right? That you're framing your thoughts and you're framing what it is that you want to experience and what you want to see by determining I want to be this kind of person, not allowing circumstance and situation to determine that for you. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me ask you this. So where does that come from for you? And I mean that sound like it's something that's embedded in you because not a lot of people go into scenarios like that looking at the positive. Where does that come from?
I guess my upbringing. I mean, I've been blessed, to have a great family, great support system. And I just believe that, God ain't gonna take you nowhere where he can't take you through.
Mm,
Like, just staying focused, like you said, on the positives. Because, worrying about the negatives, they ain't really gonna get you nowhere.
right.
And that's kind of learn that in the game too, like playing sports. You mess up, you can't focus on the turnover. You got to focus on the shot. You got to hit the next position. So
I love that.
kind of go hand in hand.
I love that. That's a mental. I tell people when you the person who knows how to overcome obstacle and failure, that's what gets you to the level of elite. I heard Usain Bolt say this, and it really transformed even me. And I was a personal trainer at the time, and I was watching this video, and he said he goes out to the track and he runs so hard and gets himself tired. He goes through a whole practice, and he said, and his training doesn't start till he's exhausted.
Mhm.
And I was
Wow.
like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, that's a whole nother level of
Yeah, that's
mental."
crazy.
He said, "It doesn't start until I finish a whole practice." He said, "And then when I'm at exhaustion, that's when I start to train."
Mhm.
And he said, "Because I trained my mind that when I'm running and I'm tired, that's not where I stop. That's when I now drive." And he
Mm.
said, "That's how I got faster." And it made sense to me. I was like, "Whoa." To train
Yeah.
yourself to exhaustion and then push beyond that. Wow. And think about it this way. He trained for 9 to 10 seconds of
Mm.
running. And the mental kind of focus that is to go through how many hours do you train? Like, how many hours do you play basketball throughout the
I
week?
mean, daily, like if you have practice,
Mhm.
weights, and then maybe extra shots, maybe 3, 4 hours out the day.
So you think about that. Nor how long do you train for tennis? Like playing tennis?
2 3 hours.
So you do 2 to 3 hours a day for a game, maybe 2
Yeah.
games, or maybe for a match, 2, 3 matches. But if you think about kind of what you put in on the front of it, I'm going somewhere with this. That's why I asked, where does this come from with you, Jordyn? Because that mental focus has to come from practice, right? Like, there is no way that you have that perspective, healthy perspective that way. That is what I call, Jordyn, mental wealth. Like, most people encourage people to be mentally healthy, but that's mental wealth when you now consistently practicing this time after time, showing up, going through obstacles, climbing over the hardships, the difficulty, maybe an injury, maybe not getting to play, maybe not having your best game, missing too many shots, right? And you still, like you said, we got there, we won the ring.
Mhm.
I I'm internationally playing, and you said, "I'm blessed." You didn't say, "Man, I ain't able to do this." You said, "I'm blessed to be over here playing." Let me ask you this question. Who are you when you're not performing? Like, what's your mindset when you're not performing?
And to be honest, I kinda started once I got to maybe, like, my junior year, when I realized, like, you really have people counting on you, I worked a little different. To where even if I'm not performing offensively, I can get you the ball, I can rebound, and I can defend. So that's when you try to get that overall game. And then if you take this to off the court, that's how you become an overall person, like a good person, you know? So I just think trying to be a little multifaceted, just try to help the team no matter where I can. That's kind of to the point where I try to get my mind in.
Jordyn, you just dropped like bars just then, unintentionally, I believe. I'm serious because you said I rebound, I score, I can steal the ball, but that's the same mindset I have with life. Is that I do all these things. That life is about the many things I can do, not the things I can't do. Yeah, yeah, that's bar. Somebody put that in a song, please, because that's like that's bars. I love
Yeah.
that. That was like a Chance the Rapper, Kendrick Lamar bar. I like that. Nora, I'm gonna kick it over to
Jordan,
you.
yes, Jordan, talking about like how you started feeling that a lot of people count on you. And I'm pretty sure that you're going through this right now with playing away from home. With my own experience, when I left to play in US or far away from home for tournaments, such a complete different person on court. I'm 90% of the time untouchable mentally because I'm that far away from home. I'm playing by myself. I'm living by myself.
Mhm.
Finding my way in a country that I don't know anything about. It's not my language. Well, you don't even speak Turkish, so you don't even know the language. And
No.
you have to find your way, and you have expectations. Like, we gotta be honest, like being an athlete, um, you have expectations, not even just about performance, but to be disciplined, to be respectful, to be hardworking, all of that. So
Mhm.
I want to ask you, like, what was that experience for you? Did you feel the change on court now playing overseas? And how do you deal with that pressure? And how do you push yourself when you don't have anyone watching you in the stands from your family or friends? How do you push yourself?
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. And what's crazy is like playing in the States, like you know your people are there, but you don't even see them during the game. Like you're just in the game. So I'm thinking, okay, when I get over here, it's kind of gonna be the same, right? But nah, it wasn't. It did my heart well knowing that they were watching from home, but it's definitely different not seeing them in the stands. And that's when I kind of just had to be like, you kind of know what you signed up for.
Mhm.
Um, and just kind of like try to do your job the best way you can. I think preparation goes a lot into that, so I don't get to overthinking and just kind of like focus on, just trying to perform.
Mhm.
And I think having community around you, as far as teammates, like good teammates to support you, kind of be the good people that you need around you to keep you focused, to keep you engaged in the game, even throughout the season. Because it's easy to forget why you're here
Mm.
and kind of you be in limbo, like just for like a week or two straight, like just
Mhm.
going through life. So just having good teammates and staff trying to just keep you, focused and just try to make your time here as special as possible.
Now, what part of your journey for you, Jordyn, what part of your journey forced you to grow spiritually and not just athletically?
Definitely being gone. Um, when I left, it, like the time, it's an 8 hour or 9 hour time difference. So like you have a lot of time to yourself and it's just you find a way to occupy that time. And I just found myself leaning to my faith because I mean, when you have nowhere else to turn to, that's where you go.
Well, look, when you can't talk to nobody, God
Yeah.
he always won't.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it was for me. And definitely grateful for that. To even have that instilled for me since when I was young, as you can always go back to that.
Hmm.
So that's kind of where it was.
Me hearing that, like that's literally what this show is called. This series that we're doing this year is Rooted in Greatness. And I love that you said you go back to your roots, right? I go back to the thing that was planted in me. And I always tell people if your roots run deep into the ground, then your tree can grow high as it wants to. Like the deeper the roots, the stronger the tree is. And so I love hearing you say that your roots almost gave you the skill set and the mindset for when I am way in another country, thousands of miles away from home, I can still go back to the dirt.
Yep.
Like people don't recognize the power in being rooted in your faith, right? Being rooted in something as bigger than you, right? Because it
Mhm.
means purpose is with me and traveling with me no matter whether I'm at my address or I'm in another country. Purpose has the expansion and the ability to go anywhere with me. I love that.
Mhm.
Nora,
Yep.
back to you.
Jordan, you talked about the challenges, okay, being away that people don't see or maybe don't know. Only honestly, we all realize it now that you only know how it feels when you experience it. You think you're
Yeah.
too strong, you can live by yourself in a country, go compete, go be your best and grow. But it is hard. It is hard to be by yourself, to face that every day for years, and to keep growing. I want you
Mhm.
to tell a little bit about what the biggest goal challenge that you face that no one can even see on court or in your life and no one even knows about. Is it related to being away from home or is it something else?
Yeah, I definitely say being away from home. Like I said, most of my games of my entire career, I had somebody in the stands. And I'm pretty much like a very to myself person. And I figure like people go in the military, they go off all the time. Like,
Mhm.
and I'll be doing something I have fun with. I love the game. And I don't even, I'm not gonna say it's not even talked about enough. I don't even think people be honest how hard it is.
Hmm.
Like even when they are asked about how it is going off. Um, so it was definitely difficult. And I've heard some people that say they struggle with it too, but they normally say like they're not going out, hanging out with the team, trying to immerse in the culture. And that's kind of how I was at the beginning. Because I think it really didn't, I had just been there for a little while, so I didn't really miss
Mhm.
home yet. But once you try to get into the culture and try different things, you realize it's not all that different. Like, there's still malls out here, good food, good people, good music, like just a little different.
Hmm.
So that's the biggest thing. Just get out, have fun, experience the area.
Jordan, I believe you just helped some people with what you said about being in different areas. You can look at difference or you can look at good. Like you said, if you get good food at home, find good food where you at, right?
Yeah.
You like good music at home, find good music where you at. I literally love that because it says that there is nowhere that you can take me where I can't find good because I'm
Mhm.
rooted in goodness,
Mhm.
right? There's a scripture that says, goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And to me, like, that is literally what you just said. Like,
Mhm.
it don't matter if I'm playing ball in Turkey. It don't matter if I'm in Istanbul. It don't matter, no matter where I'm at. I'll be in, what is it, Tunisia? Did I say it right?
Tunisia.
Tunisia,
Both.
Tunis. No, it's Tunis.
It's Tunis in Arabic, yes.
Shout out to the people of Tunis. Shout out to the people
Okay.
of Tunis. I'm trying to get this right. But it doesn't matter where I'm located. Goodness can be found. Here's my question to you. How did you stay rooted? Because you won a ring when you were at A&T. How did you stay rooted when you were experiencing success?
Because when you have success, like a lot of it is preparation, hard work, the normal stuff. And it's a little bit of luck too,
Mm,
always.
mm,
And just understanding like the significance of what we had done, it's no way to think that we did that without God,
mm,
without our community,
come on.
without our families.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no way.
Yeah,
So I think just understanding like how everybody poured it into us to get it done. It's like you can't be selfish with it.
right.
Like this your ring too.
Yeah, I love that.
Like, it's kind of like that. But
I love that. Jordyn, girl, listen, I just love, first of all, I can tell the way you process mentally. Like, I can tell you're elite. I'm serious. Like, I personally believe because I work with elite athletes, anytime I talk with athletes that are elite, I've worked with people that have been in the league in the NFL for 14 years. And when I hear kind of the message, I'm starting to see a pattern that elite athletes have this great capability to eat off the right tree is what I like to call it. I have a method that I use in my training with all the clients that I meet with called the tree of life method, which simply means that you choose to eat from the life-giving tree only. Like that other tree that the Bible said, the day of that you eat of it, you will surely die. Elite athletes stay away from that tree. That tree is called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So elite athletes be like, nah, I ain't got time for that tree. That optional
yeah.
stuff, my game is on the line. So I'm
Mhm.
only eating from this tree of life. That's why you guys watch what you eat, where you go, who I'm around, the things I'm putting in my body, the things I'm gonna put in my mindset. And
Mhm.
so I hear you saying, man, I make sure my roots, I'm 10 toes down right here. Like I can't
Yeah,
waste this energy over there. And
for
just your
sure.
perspective on saying, nah, I was on the court playing, but I wasn't in the stands cheering. I was on the court playing, but I wasn't the one that had to pay for all them programs that I did.
Mhm.
I was on the court playing and I got the ring, but there was a coach on the sideline that was driving me saying, no, get back on the court,
Mhm.
get on the free throw line. And then you said something else too. You said, I was on the court playing, but there was a community, right?
Yeah.
There are people that are not international with you that's with you. That's huge, Jordyn. That's y'all. So for every athlete that's gonna watch this, that's elite thinking. That's elite thinking that is not because you see me crossing somebody over. That's not just me crossing them over.
Mhm.
You said that's my preparation, and my preparation was the fans. My preparation was my community. Preparation was God. The preparation was a whole bunch of things you don't see on the court with me. So my mental focus comes from basically what you're saying is the holistic wraparound service that kept dumping and pouring into me. Am I getting that right?
Yes, 100%. It ain't just me.
You need to put that. You need to put that on a shirt. I'm calling it first. You need to put that on a shirt and brand
She
that. It
makes
ain't
her
just me.
own what is it? Like she has her own brands of shirts and shorts and everything.
Yeah, royalties. They kind of
Royalty?
like, yeah, they took Like some photos of me in my A&T jersey, and had some shirts made, some shorts, socks, hoodies. Yeah.
Well,
Need the
listen, there
merch,
you go.
Rico.
There you go. You welcome. You need to put that, Jordyn, it ain't just me, on a shirt.
I like that. I really might just take you up on that.
I love that, Jordyn. That's fire. Nora, back over to you, Nora.
Yep. Jordyn, talking about mental discipline, we talked a lot about that. I mean, as you said, mental discipline is not when you just fail. Even when you succeed, it's hard to be like, well, I won. I got my ring. I'm good, and just keep going. But what does it also look for you on the days you feel motivated? On the days, especially now, again, when you're away from home, where it's harder to pick yourself up? Because I don't know, for me, if I'm not practicing here, I'm at home. My mom is coming up at 6 a.m. knocking my door. Go out there, run, do something with your life. You're sleeping. You're 21. You're wasting your time. You can sleep when you're 40. So how do you like manage that mental discipline and keep and stay disciplined and keep the hard work when you don't feel motivated, when you just want to go to bed, when you want to go home? Tell us a little bit about it.
I think I try to reward myself, kind of like with incentives, kind of like try to treat myself. Cause I mean, it's been days where I just didn't feel like it, don't feel like it. And then you just try to start think of big picture. And a lot of what fueled me, especially when I started to see my game change, I didn't really like the thought of people outworking me. And I don't even want to say performing better, but just outworking me, out hustling me. I think that kind of drove me a lot. But yeah, I think incentives, because like you deserve it. Like you work hard, you deserve an ice cream at the end of the day, you know?
I love that.
So
I love that. You deserve ice cream. You work hard, you deserve ice cream.
yeah.
That's why I went to Waffle House this morning. Shout out. Waffle House, y'all pay me for that.
Here is Jordyn likes the Turkish ice cream. That's all on here.
It's good
Did
too.
you get flake? Did you
Yep.
get
It's
flake?
they had a caramel kind that I like, and they have a
Oh,
strawberry kind that I like, and a coffee kind that I like. I mix it up between them three.
Hey, Jordyn, go on and get that Go on and get that NIL deal with the ice cream company over there. Tell them, hey, I'll put y'all on. Let's go.
Yeah.
So tell me this, Jordyn. When we talk about that, I'm thinking about now other athletes, because the stuff that you're sharing, like I want to speak to those athletes who are silently struggling. Like I feel like there's so many athletes that, I have a positive mindset. I understand what it takes for me to be a great athlete, but I want you to speak to the ones that has the pressure on them with their identity, like now. Maybe their identity is struggling because, like you said, Noah, they're in another country too. And I don't have my family. I'm in an apartment by myself for the first time. I just left my family for the first time ever in my life, and I'm in a whole new
Mhm.
country. Because I see both of you guys, I guess you can say, kind of have been through that experience. Or one end coming from where she was and coming here to A&T, and you now leaving here, the States. And is this your first time like being international without your family? This is where I'm going to be for a little bit. Speak to that audience right now that's in Turkey right now, and they not having a good time like you.
um, I think people tend to take their issues, wherever they're going through, a lot different when they think they're the only person going through it.
Right.
I think realizing that you're not the only one gives you a broader perspective of we can all get through this.
Mm.
And I think just maintaining that positivity, just trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and just still being mindful of the blessings and the opportunities that you have around you. And just take advantage of those. Like I said, just getting out, walking to the ice cream shop. You just get to see different people every day. You get to learn names, and then it just starts to feel like normal. It starts to feel a little normal again. And I say, don't be afraid to speak out about whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with, because I guarantee it's somebody that you could find going through the same exact thing.
Wow.
I
I like that you said that, because so many people do think that they're I'm saying so many people, I've been there. where you swear up and down nobody has had life as rough as you, right?
Yeah.
You ever have friends that you talk to and you like, yeah, but you don't even understand, like
You don't even know.
you don't know. I'm telling you, my mama, and it's interesting because we really try to corner the market on pain. But like you said, when you start broadening your perspective, you start to find out that maybe Noah didn't have my mom, but Noah could have had some of my experiences. Maybe Jordyn didn't have my father. Maybe Jordyn didn't have a father around. It broadens your experience, like you said. I love that you said stay connected to the people because that means that you have to stay rooted in unity. Like, don't isolate yourself, is what I hear you saying. Because the moment you isolate that lonely place and you feeling like you the only one going through it, then that'll lead you down the road to thinking you the only one that can solve it.
Yep.
And the only only right thing for you to do now is take your life. And we don't want people going down that road. We want people to know, no, there's a Jordyn out there. There's a Noor out there. There's a Tarico out there. And
Yep.
last thing you said was, don't feel ashamed to talk. Man, can you please elaborate on, I'm for real, this don't be afraid to talk. I think we minimize that. I think we think it's like just easy because so many people are struggling silently, Jordyn. I talk to people every day and they say, man, if you only knew what I was going through when I was in school, if you
Yeah.
only knew some nights that I was crying. I did go to practice and had a good game, but some days I was hurting and I actually didn't want to. And I couldn't say it to my coaches. Like I couldn't tell them that I was in pain. Did you ever experience that for yourself?
I'm gonna say no, but I've seen it firsthand. And I also think it's different for males, especially like for football. I don't know if they give y'all that open space to, yeah. And I can see that.
That's, man, I tell people you really don't understand psychologically what that does when you go and you say, I can't play.
Mm.
And they like, no, you have to play. And you like, I'm telling you, I can't. And they like, we need you on the field. And those words, we need you on the field, think about it. That's ingrained in us. That it's
Yep.
about the team, not about you. And it almost gets to that place where it becomes detrimental to you, the individual. Because I know there were days. I remember being in games and hurting myself. Shoulder, I'm walking, running to the sideline, shoulder hanging down. I can't even stand up straight. And they like, no, come over here, go get some ice, put some ice on it. You good now? You good? Next play, get back in there, get back. And I wasn't good. Now, I want to ask you, because I know we got to wrap up. This conversation good to me, but I know we got to wrap
Yeah.
up. When it comes to now, what is it that you're still surrendering to God in this season of your life?
I'm gonna say change. And when I say change of environment, just, the good and the bad, like just life. Cause life be life. And like I was just talking to
Yeah.
one of my old teammates, like, everybody up, like got their career, but you talk to each one, every one of them, everybody got, something different that they going through. And just not being afraid of that. Cause like it's gonna come. It's gonna come. And I literally just told the team that yesterday. Whatever adversity, obstacles you think you're gonna avoid, you not. And once you accept that, I think you give yourself the best opportunity to get through it. So I just think just trying to let God do his thing. Like, whatever happens, just staying positive, and understand that you're gonna get through it. Like, assessing the situation and just seeing what you can do to, change the outcome. I said, and I get a lot of this stuff from basketball and just literally changing the words to like real life. Like basketball has taught me so much more than like just getting a ring. And I think my coaches and the environment that I was in. It's like when I was saying like about that open space, like there was times when my sophomore year I first got changed to point guard, and I struggled so much. Like it was so hard, like playing against. Well, I was like what 19, playing against 21, 22 year olds. and I was getting ripped left and right. I remember Miami game, it was just so bad. And he came to me, my head coach came to me, he was like, "What do you need from me? Like, we want you to play. We want you to perform. What do you need from me?" And that alone, his trust, his faith in me made me like, all right, this is what I need. This is what we gonna do.
Wow.
And then boom, came the assist leader. Like now I'm holding records from that simple conversation.
Wow.
So just having good people around you that pour into you, that believe in you, a community. Like you said, don't isolate. You know, it's hard to get out of that, I believe. Yeah,
Jordyn,
God got you.
I love that, Jordyn. We're on a mission, Jordyn, right now as a company that this rooted in greatness, this conversation, that it reaches high school athletes, college athletes, professional athletes, and that people know exactly what you're saying, right? Take the opportunity. I believe that there's no such thing as having too much encouragement. There's no such thing as having too many people having those one-off conversations for yourself. Like you said, that little conversation, what seemed to be so little, became the trust that you need to get you internationally playing ball, right? To get you to tap in. And the way the Bible describes it, it says that if you have faith as small as a mustard seed faith, it says you
Mhm.
can speak to a mountain and the mountain has to move. So that's what I heard when you said, like, that small conversation, that small piece of faith that my coach had in me literally became the faith that I needed that moved the mountain of doubt in me, right? It said, "No doubt.
Yeah,
We about to ball till we fall now. Let's
yeah.
go." And you became an assist leader. You won the ring. You're now playing internationally. And so thank you for being an example of what it means to be rooted in greatness. I'm so honored that I got the opportunity, Nora afforded me the opportunity to kind of meet you and to connect with you. And I also look forward to kind of one of them shirts, first of all.
I bet.
I'm looking forward to one of them shirts. And I got to send you, get you some exposure stuff too, so you can
Yes.
wear it internationally. But Nora, you got any final things for
Yes,
Jordyn?
yes, Jordan. I live up by one thing right now is I do believe that everybody can make a difference in this world, but it just matters what difference you decide to make. It can be good, it can be impactful, and it can be bad too. So now playing
Mhm.
internationally, now the legacy you left at A&T that will be remembered forever. I want to know, what do you want? Like, what do you want to be remembered for after basketball, after A&T, after playing professional, all of this?
Mm.
What do you want us to remember Jordan for?
I want everyone to remember me for just giving the game everything I had, being a good teammate. That's the biggest thing that I tried to encourage the people around me with. No matter what, you can be a good teammate. You can cheer somebody on. Just like positivity, um, and just being a good person. Like I said, like it took me a lot of coming out of my shell to realize, all these attributes to becoming a, good person or just a nice person. Like I ain't even say a good person, just being nice to people, being good to people, establishing relationships and friendships. And I think that's pretty much, I don't gotta be the best player, best scorer, but a good person, a good teammate, somebody you can count on.
Not count on me through thick and thin.
All that,
I
thick
l
and thin.
I like that, Jordyn. Talk about holistic, Jordyn, like you are, I can tell, the holistic athlete, and like I said, man, it is really an honor for me. I know when I'm talking to greatness,
Thank you.
and I really do appreciate you for availing your time, to inspire others and to spread your light. The Bible says, "Let your light so shine before men that they might see your good work, but glorify the Father who's in heaven." And so I can tell just from what you're saying, the way you're talking, the way you're speaking, that this is not stuff you're making up, but it's how you live and lead your life. I
Mhm.
could hear it out of you, coming from a real deeper part of you, a rooted part is what I like to call it. So thank you. And we really do appreciate you for being a part of our exposure community and joining us and making your mark. We always say here, let's make our mark. And Jordyn, you doing that. So thank you.
Thank y'all for having me. This has been great. Like I said, a lot of conversations that's not being had, and I love what y'all doing here.
Thank you so much. All
Thank
right,
you,
y'all.
Jordan.
Come on. Come on, y'all. Give it up for Noor and Jordyn. This is the international flavor conversation, y'all. So listen, if you have not gone to follow us, make sure you follow the page. Jordyn, tell the people where they can find you at on your socials. How can they find you?
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Jordyn.Dorsey. Follow me.
Come on, y'all. Go and follow her page. That's at Jordyn.Dorsey. Make sure you go and follow
buy
her,
the
keep
merch.
up with her. Hey, check her out. You never know. You might be in Turkey. I don't know. She can take you get some good ice cream. I do know
I
that.
sure can. I sure can.
So listen, go over and follow our page. We're over on at the Xposure Academy on Instagram. You can follow us over on LinkedIn. We are at Xposure Ventures. And then pretty soon, get ready. You're going to be able to follow us on YouTube too. We coming YouTube. The podcast is going to be housed over on YouTube. So I'm excited about you guys getting all this fresh information. But y'all give it up for today. Jordyn Dorsey was in the building.
This was great.